If you've participated in reflection or built a course that has reflection in it, then you've used constructivism. Constructivism is a hugely important learning theory, and we're going to dive into it and learn about constructivism, that's easy for me to say, in less than 5 minutes. So if you like this kind of content, give it a like and subscribe for more. Constructivism really lives up to its name because constructivism really asserts that individuals create or construct their own knowledge of the world through their experiences, their schema, if you've heard that term before. So they're creating their knowledge through the experience of the world and then the reflection on that experience. So think about this for a moment. When you learn something new, see something new, learn something new, you have to reconcile it with your previous experience. And then that's going to either change what you know to some extent, or you're going to disregard the new content coming in as irrelevant. So it's going to have one of those two effects. In any case, we are active creators of our own knowledge. We create our knowledge. And really, to do this, we have to ask good questions. So we have to be naturally curious, and we have to explore and assess what we know. So we're in a constant stage of questioning, exploring, and assessing what we know. And that is really one way that we can construct knowledge. So if you see people who don't really question, explore, or assess what they already know, or think they already know everything, then they're probably not constructivist in nature. So here are 6 key principles to constructivism. 6 key principles that you should actually know. Learning is an active process. Constructivism really posits that learners are active in the process of learning, of constructing or building their own knowledge. And in the beginning of this video, we talked about how when we learn something new, we compare it to our previous experience and either bring it in and create a new set of knowledge or disregard as irrelevant. So learners are an active participant in their knowledge creation. So that really speaks to us as IDs, because if we know learners are active participants and learning is an active process, then why are we building stuff that's just one way? So we want to build things that require activity. So active learning. That's why active learning is such a big deal. Be on the lookout for my video of active learning with AI, because we have a whole lot of new tools we can use. And then the second one, knowledge is constructed. And we know this because if we experience something, that's one thing that we have, and then we expand on it and build from that, because now we continue to compare and contrast to our previous experience. And the third is one of my favorite, and it's kind of like the way I say study, because we never want to study in isolation. Well, constructivism says that learning is context bound. So it's really important to keep the context of what we're learning in place, because if we're constructing learning, we have to have the context to help us with that construction, because you can't build things in isolation. They are held up just like a wall to a house. It's not held up by one thing. It's held up by many different things. So we want that construction of our knowledge to really have many points. And those many points is the context that we're learning. Learning is a social activity. And our learning, it's closely associated with our connection with other human beings, our teachers, our peers, our family, as well as casual acquaintances, right? So we learn from others' experiences and storytelling. That's why storytelling is such a powerful medium for getting good content across. Problem solving and exploration are key. So problem-based learning, people want a problem to solve. A big chunk of constructivism is exploration and curiosity, being curious, asking a bunch of questions. So let's ask those questions. Let's be curious. And a great way to do that to help people learn is to give them a problem to solve. Learning should involve multiple perspectives, and that simply makes sense. Why does it make sense? Because if we're going to explore and we're going to be curious, we need to have multiple perspectives in order to construct our knowledge. Because if we're just constructing on one perspective, then we don't have that strong foundation that we're going to connect our wall to. So take a moment and think about when you've used constructivism, you've used it, your children have used it, people you know have used it. Constructivism is alive and well today because it's experiential. We learn by doing, and then we take that knowledge, bring it in, compare it to our past experience, get rid of what doesn't fit, and keep what we do fit to create that new knowledge set. And remember, the difference between an expert and a novice is the number of connections or networks they have with that piece of content. So I hope you enjoyed this. Have a fantastic week.